let's start our session. Yeah. Just I want to be know any people who joined like very new to the testing. The people who are very new to the testing, just you can bring your names in the chat window. Okay. So the people who are very new to the testing, just you can ping in the chat window. Vikram, Karnak, Srikanth, Sheila, Parna, Shubham, Preeti, Venkat Reddy, Saurabh. Um, all the people who are very new to the testing, just you can ping your names in the chat window. Still, any other people? I've been seeing some names in the chart window. Still, any other people who are new to the testing? Okay, right. Okay, then let's get started then. As we got in a more new people related to the testing in the meeting, as there are more people very new to the testing. First, I'll try to give the information about what exactly mean by testing as part of testing training program, what need to be get learn or what we need to be get trained on it. We'll get understand about that information, and after that we'll be getting started about taking with the interview questions here. Okay, as we got in a most of the people are very new to the testing. First, I'll try to give the information what exactly mean by software testing. Okay, and after that I will be getting started. Okay, after that I will be getting discussing about with the interview question here. Okay, right, let's get started. So the very first understanding, if I'm taking with the software testing, what is the meaning of software testing? What is the meaning of software testing? Right, let's understand on it. So let's get understand in a very detail. First, I will try to give an overview what is mean by software testing, and as part of our training program, what are all the things we are going to discuss, we'll get understand on it here. Right. So the very first step which it will be getting mentioning about software testing, right? So the very first step we used to be get mentioning that software testing. So if I'm taking software testing, when exactly software testing will be coming into the picture? That means if I'm taking with the IT industry, if I'm taking with the IT industry, when exactly software testing will be getting coming into the picture? Okay, right. Let's get understand on it. Right. Let's see that. So the very first concept is, if I'm taking with the IT industry, if I'm taking with the IT industry, we used to be get using with the terminology mentioning that software, right? So if I'm taking with the very first IT terminology, which it will be mentioning that software. What is the meaning of software? According to your understanding, what is the meaning of software? Right. So if I'm taking with the software, which we can say that set of programs, or we can say that set of instructions here. That means by using only one particular program, by using only one particular program. We cannot develop in a whole software which need to be get combine multiple programs and then getting developing in a software. So if you want to be get develop in a software which it will be taking with the help of IT companies here, right? The major role of any kind of IT companies, the major role of any of IT company is need to be get develop in a software here. So if I'm taking any of IT companies, if I'm taking with any of IT companies, develop in a software, to develop in a software which it will be taking with the process of SDLC, mentioning that software development life cycle, which it will be mentioning that software development life cycle. As part of SDLC, the very first step which it will be mentioning the requirement gathering, and taking with the next step mentioning the requirement analysis. First, we need to be get gather with the requirements, and after that need to be take with analysis, and then which it will be getting mentioning about taking with design. That means if you want to be get develop any kind of software, the very first step need to be done is which it will be taking with requirements gathering, and then taking with requirement analysis, and then mentioning about which it will be taking with design. If I'm taking these particular steps will not be getting done by fresher level. As a fresher level or experience of just 3 to 4 years cannot be involved in performing these particular roles here. These particular roles can be handled. If I'm taking this particular role can be handled by, okay, so if I'm taking this particular role can be handled by which it will be taking with the BA, or which it will be mentioning about SME. BA means business analyst. BA means business analyst. SME, subject matter expert. Subject matter expert. I mean, if I'm taking with the fresher level, or if I'm taking with the just experience of 3 to 4 years, cannot be involved in performing requirements gathering or requirement analysis or design. These particular activities are taken care by the more experienced people who got a minimum experience of 8 years or 10 years. These particular people will be getting involving in performing requirements gathering, and then taking with analysis, and then taking with the design. Once design has been completed, then it will come to the coding, and after that it will be taking with the testing, and then mentioning about live environment and production. This coding which need to be done by developer, and then testing which it will be done by tester here. So if I'm taking with the IT industry, BA totally different job role, different training program. Developer different job role, and then different training program. Tester different job role and different training program. I mean, only one particular person cannot perform or cannot involve in doing all the things here. So BA role is totally different role, developer is totally different role, and the tester is totally different role here. So if I'm taking these particular software, any kind of software will not be done by only one particular person. So which all the people need to be get involved, then only you will be able to see that getting in a whole development of one particular software. So this is how in IT industry we are getting with the different job roles are there. Now our role is as a tester, we are not involving. As a tester, we are not getting involving in perform all the things here. Just we need to be taking care about in implementing testing activities. We are not worried about BA role. We are not worried about developer role, and we need to be taking care about only testing. And our training program, which is related to testing, in that testing specifically, we are mentioning the software testing here. So let's understand about in a very detailed about software testing. If I'm taking with the software testing, if I'm taking with the software testing any application based on client requirements. Software testing means testing any application based on client requirements. We are not worried about any of other activities, and you are not testing by your own also, and you are not applying your BTech talent or anything. Just you need to be get understand that what are the client requirement. Based on the client requirement, you need to be test the application. So the meaning of software testing is mentioning that testing an application based on client requirements. The meaning of software testing is testing an application based on client requirements. To do that particular testing, we got a different types of testing. One, I will be mentioning the manual testing, and the one I will be mentioning the automation testing. I mean, software testing got divided into two types here. One, we can say that manual testing, and one I will be mentioning about automation testing here. Manual testing, you are making sure that application need to be working fine. Automation testing has been used to make sure that application is working fine. So manual testing, you are making sure that application need to be working fine, and automation testing also, you're making sure that application need to be working fine. Then what make the difference here? Okay, as both are making sure that application need to be working fine and both are related to the testing, then what make the difference here? Difference is if I'm taking with the manual testing done by human interactions. If I'm taking with the manual testing, which is done by human interactions, if I'm taking with the automation testing done by the tool, that particular tool we are taking with Selenium. So if I'm taking with the tester, if you want to be get job as a tester, if you want to be get survive as a tester in the real time. Only manual testing will not be enough. Only automation testing will not be enough, which need to be get comfortable with manual testing and automation testing. If you're learning only manual testing, that will not be enough to get in a job. If you are taking only automation testing, that will not be enough to get in a job. As a tester, it may be fresher level or experience level, you need to be comfortable in getting understanding about manual testing and automation testing. Then it will become in a very easy to get in a job and to get survive in the job. So because of that, if I'm taking with our software testing training program, which is taking care about in providing with the training on manual testing and automation testing. So in our training program, you will get comfortable about working in manual testing and working in automation testing. Okay. Now, first, if I'm taking with the manual testing, as part of manual testing, what we are going to learn. First, let me give all the explanation. Then I will start with the doubt session. I'll start with the clarifying your doubts. Let me complete an overview. Then we'll get start about our questionnaire session. Okay. So if I'm taking manual testing, this manual testing got divided into two things here. One is white box testing, another one is black box testing. White box testing, which is done by the developer related to the code level here. If I'm taking with the white box testing, which is done by the developer related to code level here. If I'm taking with the black box testing, which is done by the tester related to functionality here. Okay, so which it will be taking with functionality done by the tester. White box testing taking care by developer. Black box testing taking care by tester here. So we guys are not worried about in getting taking with the white box testing, need to be taking care about, need to be taking care about black box testing. This black box testing, again, it got divided into two things here. One I will be mentioning about functional testing, another one which it will be mentioning about non-functional testing. Both are black box only. Under that, it got divided with the functional testing and then taking with non-functional testing. Non-functional testing means which it will be getting mentioning about performance testing. Which it will be mentioning about performance testing and then taking with security testing will come under non-functional testing. As a tester, we are not worried about in getting taking with non-functional testing. We need to be taking care about in implementing with functional testing here. Okay, as part of functional testing, we need to be taking care about. As part of functional testing, we need to be taking care about in getting understanding that smoke testing and then mentioning the sanity testing and then taking with retesting and then taking with regression testing and then mentioning about alpha testing and then mentioning about beta testing here. Once beta testing completed, then it will be getting moving into live environment or production here. What is mean by all these particular testings? We need to be get understand about our training program, and to get implement with the functional testing, to get implement with the functional testing, we need to be take with the help of one more option. We need to be take with the help of one more option that we will be mentioning about taking with STLC, mentioning the software testing life cycle. As part of STLC, we need to be taking care about software testing life cycle. So now, if I'm taking with the STLC, first we need to be get understand that requirements understanding and need to be come up with test plan, and then mentioning about taking with the test scenarios, and then mentioning about taking with the test cases, and then mentioning about test execution, and then mentioning about taking with bug reporting, and then finally need to be get mentioning about test closure. So it may be fresher level, it may be experience level. As a tester, we need to be get comfortable in implementing about STLC activities. As part of our training program, we need to be get understand about in implementing with the STLC with the help of the project. That means if I'm taking with our training program, if we take our training program, we'll be taking with the help of one project, and we'll get understand about how exactly we can implement it, the whole manual testing activities here. Okay, so once we got comfortable with the manual testing, once we got comfortable with manual testing, next we need to be start with automation testing. Okay, so that automation testing, that particular automation testing, we are taking with the help of the Selenium. So as part of Selenium, what we are going to discuss. First, you will be getting comfortable with manual testing. Once that training got completed, then you will be getting started with automation testing. If I'm taking with the automation testing to get understand in a very better manner, to get understand in a very better manner, just I have been divided into module wise here. It's not like in Selenium, we don't have any modules here. To make our training program is very easy, I got divided into different type of modules here. The first module mentioning the Selenium components, and then taking with object identification. And the second thing we are discussing about core Java. Don't get hesitate about with the core Java here. In manual testing, there is no concept of programming. In manual testing, there is no concept of programming. When it's come to the Selenium, for Selenium, we require basic core Java knowledge. For Selenium, we require basic core Java knowledge. That what we require, that I'm going to provide with the training here. I mean, as part of Selenium, we are discussing about core Java concepts, not like equal to developer. For Selenium, how much Java knowledge has been required, that we are getting training it. And after that, I'm getting started with the actual part of the Selenium that will be taking WebDriver with project. And after that, we'll come up with different types of the frameworks, we'll take integrations, and finally we'll be taking with API testing here. If I'm taking these things, in module 1, we are discussing about difference between Selenium and QTP. and you will understand real-time automation process, Selenium history, Selenium components, object identification. Module 2, you will be taking with the core Java basic concepts here. Module 3, WebDriver, will get understand about how we can write basic programs and advanced program. I mean, developing an automation scripts. How we can design basic automation scripts and how we can design advanced level automation scripts. We'll be discussing it. Then we'll go with the frameworks, modular framework, test engine framework, hybrid framework, and taking with the POM. Then frameworks integrations. What is mean by Log4j? What is mean by GitHub? All these particular concepts you will get understand about in a very detailed in the coming sessions here. I mean, in the actual training, you will be knowing about all these things. Just I'm giving the information of we are going to integrate all these particular features. Finally, a basic information about API testing. In that, we are taking with the REST API, nothing but RESTful here. If I'm taking with the whole overview of our training program, module 1 taking with the Selenium components and object identification, module 2 core Java, module 3 WebDriver with the project, module 4 frameworks design, module 5 frameworks integration, module 6 which it will be taking with REST API here. So as part of automation training program, you're going to learn about all these particular concepts in a very detail with the project. So by the end of the training program, you will be getting comfortable with manual testing and which it will be getting comfortable with automation testing. And after that, as part of our training program, what are all the things we are going to discuss? Each and every information have been documented in the PDF file here, including manual testing, automation testing, core Java, all the concepts. Whatever the concepts we are discussing it, each and every concept have been documented in the PDF file, like core Java installation, and then core Java basic programs. Okay, and then taking with the Selenium programs, like core Java programs here. And if I'm taking with the Selenium, which it will be taking with Selenium programs, each and every concept. Okay. Each and every concept you have got documented. Right? So each and every particular concept, have been documented in the PDF file here. So by that, once our session has been completed, okay, so once our session has been completed, if we go through this particular document very easily, you can understand that what are all the things we have been discussed in the training program here. So that it will be getting provided. So the whole conclusion is, as part of the software testing program, you need to be comfortable with manual testing and you need to be get comfortable with automation testing here. Manual testing, one project, automation testing, one more project. So two projects will be getting completed, one in manual testing and one in automation testing here. As a fresher level and experience level of 3 to 4 years, how much knowledge we have been required. So that is what I will be getting understanding. Okay, so that is what you will be getting understanding about as part of this particular training program here. Okay, right. So everyone clear up to now? So Up to now, everyone is clear? Up to now, everyone is clear? Right. So if you have any specific questions, you can start ping in the chat window. I will be responding all your questions. If you have any kind of questions, you can ping in the chat window. I will respond it. Yeah. You can ping the chat window, or you can unmute and then you can speak it. Srikanth, you can ask any question. We are providing with the PDF notes, right? So PDF notes will be getting provided here. Okay, so if I'm taking with the PDF file, that is what I'm saying. So whatever the PDF file I'm showing here, so this PDF file will be sharing it, including with the manual testing and then automation testing. The PDF file will be sharing it here. Okay. So how long the course will be taking? The total training program, including with the manual testing and automation testing, which it will be taking with 45 to 50 days of the program, or you can consider like 45 to 50 hours. You can consider like in a 50 hours of training program, which it will be taking with, including with the manual testing and then taking with manual testing. Right. So in a today workshop, just I given with the overview of the software testing training program, and then I'll be discussing about with the interview questions. I'll start about interview questions also. Okay. Yeah. So Selenium, right, as part of our training program, if we take with the software testing training program, it will be getting discussing about with the Selenium tool here. Okay, what are all the topics will be there in Selenium? That is what I have been explained now. So these are all the concepts we are taking care about as part of the Selenium. If I'm taking with the Selenium, mainly these are the concepts we are going to discuss, like Selenium basic components, core Java components, WebDriver, and then taking with the frameworks design, and then frameworks integration, fundamentals of API. This is basically the concepts which need to be get understand as part of the Selenium training program. We are not covering all these concepts in the today's session. This is the total training program here. As part of the Selenium in detail training program, you are going to learn about all that particular concepts here. Okay. On which days and any fee need to be. So the batch dates and then fee details. The batch date and then fee details, you can connect with the management team. You can connect with the management team, then you will be able to see that. Basically, from tomorrow, the new batch is getting started. From tomorrow, the new batch is getting started at 9 p.m. So from tomorrow, the new batch is getting started at 9 p.m. here. So the people who are interested for the training program, you can join that particular training program. Okay. So the people required with the details related to the fee details and everything, you can contact with the management number. I'm giving with the management number. Yeah. So this is the management number. You can connect with this particular management number. You will be getting with the details here. Okay. So still any more other questions? Any more other questions before getting started our next topic? Okay, right. So now just I want to give you the information. So course fee, you will be able certificate will be provided, course certification will be getting provided. So course certification will be getting provided. So once you complete with the training, once you complete with the training program, course certification will be, course completion certificate will be provided. So every day 1 hour session. So every day 1 hour session will be there. Every day 1 hour session or every day 1.5 hour session. Initially it will go with the 1 hour session only. So slowly it will be taking with the 1.5 hour. By that we'll be completing with the training program on time here. Okay. How long will be today's session? The today's session will be completed in the next half an hour. Yeah. Without manual testing knowledge directly, we can jump into the automation testing knowledge. When you were learning purpose without learning with the manual testing also, you can learn with the automation testing, but always it is suggestible that first learn with the manual testing, after that take with the automation testing, then only it will become an easy to get understand with the concepts and then to get with the better understanding. If you want to be getting a job, if you want to be getting a job, it is mandatory. You need to be get comfortable with manual testing and automation testing. Then only it will become an easy to get in a job and to survive in a job. But while learning, first you can learn manual testing after that automation testing. Or first you can learn automation testing after that manual testing. That will not be an issue, but the hierarchy will be always need to be take with the manual testing, and after that need to be take with the automation testing. Then it will become an easy, then it will become an easy to get a job and to get survive in a job here. Okay, how long manual testing experience required to enter into the automation? It's not like because of entering into the automation, you are not learning the automation. Don't get confused here. When I'm talking about with the software testing is the combination of both the things here. Manual testing and automation testing here. That means whenever you are attending with the interviews, interviewers will be expecting that you need to be having a comfortable on working on manual testing and automation testing. It's not like that because of automation testing we're not learning the manual testing. Don't get confused on that. When you're talking about with the software testing means which includes of manual testing and automation testing. Manual testing we are doing it, automation testing which it will be done by the tool. So manual testing duration around it will be taking with the 20 days. Automation testing duration is 35. I mean in a total hours of 50 hours or 55 hours, first 20 hours will go with the manual testing. Remaining 35 hours it will be going with the automation testing. Okay, so live project, that is what I'm clearly explaining. From the day one itself, it will be going with the project testing only. We are not maintaining two different programs here. So we are directly going with the project testing only. First, I will give in a theory. The just 1 or 2 days we will have theory. From the fourth day itself, it will be getting started with the project testing only. In manual testing, you will be getting with the one project, and in automation testing, you will be getting with the one more project. So by the end of this particular testing training program, you will be getting with, by the end of with the testing training program, you need to be comfortable with manual testing and then automation testing. Okay, right. Any more other questions from anyone? No more questions, right? Okay, so just let me discuss about interview questions. I mean, when you are attending with the interviews on testing, I mean, when you are attending with the interviews on software testing in real time, what kind of questions you will be getting it here? If I'm taking with the real time, what kind of questions you will be getting? Let's understand on it. Internship is nothing but project testing. Internship is nothing but you can understand like a project testing here. Okay, right. Now let's see that what exactly the common entry questions you will be getting. I mean, whenever you are getting attending with the interviews, in case of the software testing training program, what are all the common questions you will be getting it? Just I want to be discussed about a top priority in most of the interviews, like fresher level or experience level, in most of the companies, like small level companies or MNC companies, if I'm taking with the software testing interview questions, what are all the top priority questions you will be getting it? Let's see that. Just I'll give the questions, and after that, after that, I will be getting talking about with the answers here. So if I'm taking with the questions, I came up with the 30 questions. Here, which will includes manual testing and automation testing using Selenium and Cucumber and Core Java. Manual testing questions, Selenium related questions, Cucumber related questions, and Java related questions here. If I'm taking the manual testing related questions, most of the time in interviews, they will be asking a question, define manual testing, or what is mean by manual testing. So we'll be getting in a question like define manual testing, or what is mean by manual testing, or explain manual testing here. Okay, now define manual testing, explain manual testing. Okay, or what is mean by manual testing. So that is which it will be getting with the very first common question. And after that, why testing required? For the current market, why testing has been required? After that, what is static testing and what is dynamic testing? We told about functional testing, right? Like smoke testing, sanity testing, retesting, regression testing. In a similar manner, you will be getting with the question, what is mean by static testing and what is mean by dynamic testing. After that, what is test closure? Okay, so what is mean by test closure? And when to stop testing? You will start with the testing, but in the project, when to stop with the testing, in the project, when to stop the testing, need to be get mentioning that. So most of the time for the experience level, they will be asking in a question, how you will decide your testing is completed? How you will decide your testing is completed? Or it will be getting decide, or they will be asking when to stop testing. And then explain STLC. Explain STLC. Okay, mentioning that explain STLC. Mentioning the software testing life cycle. After that, what are all Okay, what are all defect management tools or bug reporting tools here? Okay, so in a real time, what are all the defect tracking tools we can use it, or bug tracking tools we can use it? If I'm taking with the defects, what kind of defects have been identified? Give an example of which is related to low priority, low severity, and low priority, high severity, high priority and low severity, and then high priority with high severity. Different combinations. These are the very common top priority questions which are related to the manual testing. And when it's come to the automation testing, what is mean by WebDriver? In Selenium, what is mean by WebDriver? After that, what is mean by actions class? This everything will come under automation, mentioning about what is actions class. And then difference between find element and find elements. Difference between find element and find elements. And after that, return type. One question is different. Another question is what is the return type of find element and elements. After that, how to retrieve the text from alert window. How to retrieve the text from alert window. After that, what are all the wait statements in Selenium? What are all wait statements in Selenium? And then explain types of assertions. Explain types of assertions. After that, difference between get window handle and handles. Difference between get window handle and handles. And then difference between fluent wait and explicit wait. Difference between fluent wait and explicit wait. So these are the very top priority questions which are related to automation. These are very top priority questions which are related to automation. When it's come to the Cucumber also one automation tool. So sometimes for the experienced people, there is a possibility you will be getting some questions related to the Cucumber, mentioning that what is Cucumber, and then in the Cucumber, what is future file? What is mean by future file and what it got consist of? If I'm taking with the future file, what is mean by future file and what future file consists of? And after that, we need to begin explain the keywords available in Cucumber. So we need to be write some scenario by using with the keywords. What are all the keywords we can use it in Cucumber need to be get explain that particular keywords. After that, difference between scenario and scenario outline. Difference between scenario and scenario outline. And then difference between throws and throw. These are related to Java. If I'm taking with the Java, difference between throws and throw. And then difference between final and finally. Difference between final and finally. And then what is mean by runtime polymorphism, compile time polymorphism. Okay, so what is mean by runtime polymorphism and compile time polymorphism? And then difference between abstraction and interface. Difference between abstraction and interface. Okay, difference between abstraction and interface. After that, what is mean by encapsulation? All these questions are related to the Java. Okay, what is mean by encapsulation? And then explain Java 8 new features. So if we take with the Java 8, we got any new features here, which it will be getting mentioning about explain Java 8 new features. And sometimes there is a possibility to write in a program here mentioning about write a program to count duplicate characters in the string. Write a program to count duplicate characters in the string. For example, you given Naresh technologies. So what are all the how many duplicate characters are there? Need to be get count duplicate characters here. And after that, different types of object creation. Different types of object creation. Like if we take with the Java, how many ways are possible to get create an object that will be taking with different types of object creation. So these are the very common questions, the very top priority questions, which is related to software testing, related to manual testing and automation testing using Selenium and Cucumber, and then taking with Java part here. Okay, so this is what we got in a possibility. This is what we need to be get understand about a top priority questions here. The people who are very new to the testing, you will be having some confusion about what is mean by all these things here. But once you completed your training program, very easily we can understand about all these particular concepts here. I mean, once your training program has been completed, if you're comfortable in getting answering about these particular top priority questions, it will become in a very easy to get clear with the fresher interviews or experience interviews of minimum 3 to 4 years. So the minimum 3 to 4 years, it will become in a very easy here. Okay, right. Up to now, everyone is Guys, is that you are able to hear now? You're not hearable? Hello? Okay, okay, okay. Oh, right. So just if I have any okay. So if you have any clarifications, you can ping me. Basically, I prepared with the answers also. I will be discussing with the answers also for each and every question. But all these particular answers I will be getting discussing in the next session. So I'll be conducting with the one more session related to this FAQs, and then I will be getting discussing about all the answers here, because we got in a more people who are new to the testing. If I'm explaining now, it will become in a more confusion here. So that's the reason just I given with the details of what exactly mean by testing, and that information have been provided, but all the answers have been prepared anyway. Once I have been this particular document will be getting uploaded in the Naresh IT website. Okay, so including with the question and answers, it will be getting uploaded in the Naresh IT website. If you go to the Naresh IT website, you will be having the menu of interview questions. There you will be able to see that these particular question and answers also, and I will be giving with the explanation also. In the coming sessions, I will be discussing about with the explanations. So related to interviews questions, I will be telling that when the session will be done. But in general, the software testing training new batch will be getting started. Okay, the software testing training program will be getting started from tomorrow. From tomorrow, the new batch will be getting started at 9 a.m. Okay, so tomorrow new batch will be getting started at 9 a.m. Okay, so this document is not available in OneDrive. This document is not available in OneDrive. It will be getting uploaded in the Naresh website. Still, it is not uploaded. Maybe by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, it will be getting uploaded. Okay, right. So, any other questions from anyone? So, the people who don't have any questions, you can exit from the meeting. In case of anyone having any sort of questions, you can ping me. Any other questions from anyone? Everyone is clear, right? So recorded session you will not be getting. Recorded session will get uploaded in the YouTube. I mean only today's session. So today's session will be getting uploaded in the YouTube. Okay. Yeah. So the people who want to be get start with the new training batch on software testing, you guys can join from tomorrow. The meeting ID will be changing it. That meeting ID can connect with the management team. So those guys will help you that. Management team will be giving with the meeting ID. Okay, so I'm just giving with the management number in the chart window. I'm giving with the management number in the chart window. So you can get contact to that number. You will be getting with the details here. Okay, right. So you should not be getting recorded. Recorded options will not be there. We got some security issues are there. So recorded recordings will not be available here. Okay. So tomorrow you can connect with the management team. If you can call to the number I given with the number in the chart window, you can call to that number. They will be giving with the meeting ID. You can call to that number. They will be giving with the meeting ID. Okay. Yes, this training program which is related to fresher level and experience level also. That is what I'm clearly saying there. This training program which is related to fresher level as well as experience level also. By the completion of your training program, I will guide you that how the experience need to be get mentioned. Like what are all the steps need to be done, will guide you on that. Okay. Yeah. Okay then. Any more other questions? Right. Okay, then. If you don't have any questions, we can exit from the meeting. So we'll meet you in the next sessions here. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for attending the session. Thanks, all.